everyone. Today we are going to see a few more tools in Photoshop which will help you to give good retouches to your images, as well as those things has to be used for the creative purpose of our work. Okay, in these tools, what all are included is your blur, you have Sharpen and Smudge. These are the three tools what we are going to see, and later we will see Dodge, Burn and Sponge. Okay, so these 6 tools we are going to cover up today. Let's start with the blur tool. Blur means hazy, right? So to create things blurry, we can use this blur tool. Now, like other tools, blur tool also has the strength. Okay, see here, this particular area is quite sharp. I want to blur it. See, I'm able to blur it well. Okay, so this got blurred, it has become hazy. If I want the effect to be very fast, I'm going to increase the strength, say 90%, and it will blur more. If I want the effect to be very slow, I'm going to reduce the strength less to say around 20%, and then very slowly I can do this. Now sometimes this blur can be used on the images where pixelation is there, so that we can blur and try to get little good quality of your photograph. So see, for example, here I'm blurring the skin, so I'm losing on all pores. So this might look little better than the previous one. Okay, so this is with your blur. Opposite to blur is your sharpen. Sharpen sharpens your pixel. It makes pixels strong. So for example, on this portion, if we'll zoom and see, this portion looks a little blurry by default, so I'm going to sharpen it. So sharpen, say. So I've just sharpened it. The difference, sometimes it's not remarkable, but it performs its action, because after Control Z you can actually see it is sharpened. See here? So what I'm going to do is sharpen and see, Control Z. Okay, can you see the difference between sharpen? Okay, now once you're working with the sharpen, you don't have to use sharpen multiple times. It is going to look very crispy and unreal. Also, if you're doing it multiple times, all the pixels are going to break. See here what happens. Okay, so this doesn't have to be done well. So complete image is to be sharpened. So that time what I'll do is I'll increase the size of the brush to a larger portion and then sharpen it once. So the complete image is sharpened. Okay, so this is how it works. Next tool is smudge tool. Smudging means spreading. Okay, so spreading of what? Spreading of your pixels. The pixels are having a property of storing color information. If you want to spread those color away, so you are going to use the smudge tool. So for example, this particular image, let's do it outside. I want to spread it. See, I'm going to smudge these pixels. Now this also works with the strength. If strength is more, it's going to spread more. If strength is less, it's going to spread less. Okay, so these are the tools, the smudging tool and your blur and all can be used on the image. So for example, on this particular image, I want the strand to be pushed up. So take the smudge tool, take the strength and push it up. So you can see you are able to push them up well. So not prominently, but definitely we can use them. So you got your pixels pushed. Now with this you can be very creative. I'll be showing you how to work with this. Till here smudging is clear, I hope. Okay, now next tool what we are going to see is dodge, burn and sponge. Dodge has the option of it is with the property of adding white pixels into your image. So it makes your image white. Okay. Then we have burn. Burn is it adds black pixel to your image. That means it makes your image more dark. And sponge has its own property that I'll show you. So let's start with dodge tool. Now before starting this tool, you need to understand whenever you're working with the Photoshop, because Photoshop is made up of pixels, these pixels are divided into three ranges. What are the ranges? I will see in the property when we are working with dodge or burn, the range is shadows, midtones and highlights. Shadows, midtones and highlights. Shadows are the pixels which are dark in shades like these. Okay. Midtones are all the colored pixels and highlights are all the reflective pixels. Wherever there's a reflection, the white light, that is your highlights. Okay. So if you want to work on shadows, you choose shadow. If you want to work on midtones, you choose midtones. If you want to work on highlight, then you choose highlight. Uh, let's work on midtones first. And in midtones, what I want to work is dodge. The property of dodge is adding white color to your image. So let's work on the forehead. I want to add white color. See, I'm able to make my image more brighter. Okay. So compared to this, it has become more brighter now. Again, it works with the exposure. If the exposure is less, the effect will act slowly. If exposure is more, effect will work faster. Okay, so that is your adding white. But if I'm taking shadows, it will work more on black color than on highlights and midtones. See, it will work more on black, see, than on highlights and midtones. Okay, so if you take shadows, it will work more on darker area. Then we have highlights. So in highlights, that is already reflective area. So these are the reflective areas, already reflective area is there, and I want to add more of the highlight on it. So I will see I'm able to do that. So wherever there is a reflection, wherever there is highlight, is going to add more white pixels, so it will become more brighter. Now opposite to this itself is your burn. What does burn do? Burn adds black pixels. Same options. There are three ranges: shadows, midtones and highlights. So for example, in midtones you want to add black, you are able to add black. So this is how midtones work. If you want to add shadows, so click on if you're taking the option of shadow and working on the black area, so it works with the black area more fine, whereas with the midtones it is less active. Okay, and highlights, so highlights will be more black than your midtones and shadows. So this is how it works. So these are the three things what you need to keep in consideration while working with dodge and the burn tool. Now sponge tool, the last tool what we are going to do is sponge tool. Now in sponge tool you have only two options, that is desaturate and saturate. Desaturate means removing the color absolutely from the image. Okay, so once you are removing the color absolutely from the image, it is getting converted into black and white. Whereas the opposite to that is saturation. Saturation, what it does, saturation enhances the color. If I have red, it will make the color more redder. If I have green, it will make it more greener. So desaturate, first what it will do, it will remove the color from the image. So what I'll try to do is I'll try half of the image to leave its color. So see here, I'm able to make it black and white. Now I have control here, I can convert that into a portrait form also. Whereas if I'm working on the saturation, it will enhance the color more. Okay, it will work, add more of its own shades. So your image will look more vivid with the colors. Okay, so this tool, basically the saturation tool, can be very well used if you want to desaturate certain portion of your image, say the skin and hair you want black and white. So just convert that into black and white. Okay, so I'm converting this into black and white. So I have control. The more I scrub onto this particular image pixels, it will be more black. Whereas if I want to saturate the dress, I can saturate that more, so it's prominent than your skin tone. So we get different style. Now on this goggles also, I can again saturate this and enhance the color. Let's do it on the hair also. So we're getting better. Little tint of browns here. We're getting little tint of brown on top. So we have to work that. Okay, so the here we okay, so here we were very strong. We'll just control Z, and this is how we are going to work with our images. So I think so the concept of all these 6 tools are clear. Please practice this. Next video definitely will help you in using this in the best way. That's it for today. Next class will be learning on the creative aspect of your these tools. Yeah, thank you.